You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah!
Good morning and welcome to episode 1384 of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, January 25th, 2024. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast-ish. Everything you need to know in 40 minutes or less. But if you need more, go to patreon.com/hardfactor. We have a ton of more shows there. Today, we're talking about an update on the frozen Chiefs fans from Pat. Wow.
Man, it's getting weirder and weirder. And again, leading theory, drugs. But I don't know. Something's complicating this. There's a fifth guy, which we knew when we saw the photos. Yeah. But he's speaking out, the fifth guy.
You think Bills fans are happy about this? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I mean, this. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
They're upset. Insane AIDS scientist or whatever.
Oh, but Bills fans, they're donating to fucking the kickers.
No, they're the best.
Cat Society.
Bills fans are the best. I was just having a little fun with them.
Oh no, it's great. Playoff Josh. And okay, we've got a new death penalty being tested in Alabama. Wes is going to tell us about.
Always trying to, evolve when it comes to killing our prisoners here in the US of A.
This one's faster.
That's true.
Not so much, Mark.
It's one of the things we're most innovative at. Yeah.
Essentially terrible.
Okay, we'll get into it. We've got a bumpy plane ride from Mark.
That's right.
Okay. And Britney Spears is at it again. I'm going to fill everybody in on that at the end of the show and much more. That's it. That's what we're talking about today.
Hell yeah.
Man, a lot of hairs just came out when I was combing my hair.
Pat's combing. Nice.
What'd you guys
talk
about?
I want to get some dandruff on my shoulders for Wes out of solidarity.
Did you see that comment that someone told
Wes
to stop wearing black shirts? I looked. I was like, why would they tell him? Oh.
Yeah. Wes's starry shirt. If you want to hear the full story, Florida Man Friday on patreon.com/hardfactor. Get in there.
The other thing is, I know that your girlfriend got that shirt for you, probably. So you got
actually
show her
Cam's
that comment.
mom got it for me.
Well,
yeah, that makes more sense now.
Can't really use that to turn the knife
from both of them. So
she's like, see, that's why I'm not with him anymore, Cam. No, okay.
Matching shirts.
You picked him up from school the other day, right? You picked him up
today and yesterday, and for the last 8 days.
He's got you a number. It smells like shit in my room.
Let's talk about the Chiefs, Pat.
Let's talk about the Chiefs. You're right. Okay, so yeah, we've all heard about the three frozen Chiefs fans. Last game of the season, I think it was like January 7, Chiefs Chargers. Three guys go to a buddy's house. They're partying. No one hears from the three of the guys for like 2 days, and then their fiancés are showing up, their friends are showing up. The guy who owns the house, who is an AIDS researcher, right? Presumably a responsible guy. He's a scientist, won some award. He opens the door with a glass of wine in his hand and his boxers. And he's like, what's all the hubbub about? And they're like, where the fuck are our friends? And he's like, I don't know. And then they looked in the backyard and they were dead out there. And he's like, yeah, they froze to death. And then this guy's attorney is doing some legal magic work in terms of PR. He's just saying everything possible other than this guy killed his three friends or gave them bad heroin.
I want this lawyer reserved to decide to do anything.
He's good. And he's talking about his name is John Pincerno, and he is a boss, bro. He's an absolute boss.
He's playing a concert over there.
It's big time. He is just throwing plausible deniability all over the field like Mahomes to Kelsey. Jordan Willis is the guy who owns the house. I looked it up. Right. It's not a shithole. The guy's respectable. What's going on? There was a photo going around when this story first broke, and there's a fifth guy in the photo. Okay, that guy has come forward real quick before we get to that. Willis, who owned the house, said he was sleeping on the couch for 2 days. That came out too.
He also said that he was ignoring, or not ignoring, but didn't get all the fiancés and mothers and worried family members of the dead three guys' phone calls or texts because he only communicates to people via Facebook Messenger. So he would have never gotten. He would have never gotten those calls and texts. Yeah,
it's like a 90-year-old woman.
He did say that until he found out that they can subpoena Facebook Messenger, and now he's changing his tune. But look, I'm a guy that can sleep through anything. I have easily put away a day and a half, no problem. People are like, how do you do that? I can just do it. 2 days, different story, guys. 2 days.
No, not possible.
Not possible. Wes's theory is the reason that he met the police officers with a drink in his hand is because he said, fuck it, I got no choice but to get drunk here. Okay, so what's the fifth man saying? Who is also lawyered up, by the way. Interesting. Are you going to lawyer up in this situation? I understand why Josh Willis owns the house lawyer.
If you're one of the two last people to see three dead people, yes. If you're hanging out with
them, so you don't want to be considered a suspect, right?
Yes.
And so
okay. So the attorney,
if you get a lawyer, you might be considered a suspect. I don't know.
In this particular case, yes.
Okay, so the attorney who's speaking for the unidentified man, who you could probably figure out pretty easily because there's photos everywhere, is saying that his client, this fifth man, saw the three men alive, four, Willis included, after the game on Sunday night. In fact, in the early hours of Monday morning, because they were up watching Jeopardy, which is totally Jeopardy. Normal for junkies to do, I guess, if they're junkies.
Well, after the game's over, after the game ends, there's only a few things, and they're keeping it on network TV, so Jeopardy pops on, right? You know,
true.
Right. So that version of events contradicts Pincheiro's statement, who represents Willis, because Willis said that he saw the four friends out. He said, all right, I'm going to go up to sleep. He changed his story. He said, at first, I went to bed and I said, party all you want. And then he said, well, I saw him out. So what the fuck is going on?
Said goodbye to all four of them, and they were more alive than I've ever seen them.
Is Jeopardy on at 11:30?
They died in his house. They died in his house of bad drugs, probably.
Yeah, and he drug them out back.
And he doesn't want to fess up to it.
Wasn't one of them out front too? Like,
no, there's two in the yard and one on the porch. I think the back porch, though.
I don't want to be a dick, dude, but like we all made the decision internally that cocaine was off the table because of our weights and years of smoking cigarettes and heavy alcohol abuse.
I mean, that was really.
But even before fentanyl, we came to a conclusion like
fentanyl. Yeah.
We just it's just cocaine's not a good idea. These guys are our body type, no doubt about it. They don't look like junkies.
No, they really don't look like junkies. Is the thing.
Right. Yeah, but you can die of a bad drug of any type. I mean, it's not like
it looks like five of us hanging out.
It does.
So you're saying three of the guys took the drugs and the other two didn't?
Of whatever killed them.
I can't believe the big fat guy.
But here's the thing with the drug. Here's my problem with the drug thing is unless Willis did go to sleep at some point, even if not, like how do all three of them OD at the same time? Like usually what happens is one person is going to go first, and the other two friends are going to go, holy shit. The other three friends are going to, holy shit, we should give them CPR. We should take them to the hospital. How did all three of them OD at the same time?
Take it at the same time.
Unheard of. No,
unless he injected them while they were sleeping.
You don't die instantly off
one at a time.
It takes an hour or two and stuff. There's no fucking chance they all died at the same time.
You can die instantly of fentanyl.
Well, then if it was pure fentanyl, maybe, but
that's how
the guy didn't die. How did two live? They didn't take it. I don't think all three of those guys just all OD'd at the same time.
I mean,
they were either killed or died in their sleep.
That's the thing right now.
Something illegal happened, and that's why they're lawyering up. That's the bottom line, right?
Not that I'm like around cocaine anymore, because I'm not. I made that clear, okay? Because of the decision we made internally as a group. But people out there who are still doing cocaine are saying, "Have you seen someone else try it? Okay, it's good, right?" Not like, hey, did you check in with Brian who did it here an hour ago and then left? Did you call or text Brian and see if he texted back? It's like, it's a 10-minute thing.
I want to see Pat do it.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah, who did it first?
Has Pat done it yet?
Who did it first? Has Big Nose done it? Oh, I bet he did.
There were other contradictions too from Pincheto. He said that at first he came out and said like, yeah, my client Willis, he was real sleepy, but he did leave the house sporadically on the 8th and the 9th and didn't see the bodies. And then they're like, how is that even possible? Because I think he has a dog.
Not possible.
Like, they're like, he would have seen the bodies if he left the house. And he's like, did I say the house? I meant his bedroom. He just wandered around the room from bedroom to couch.
it's the same setup as Wes's old house. Pretty much. It's the same setup as well, you would come down into the main room and you would look out the fucking door, right, onto the porch or the deck, and you would see 3 dead dudes. I'm just saying.
You'd let your dog out to shit in the back.
And then you'd see their cars.
Yeah.
Their
There's
cars
too
are
many
in
contradictions with the Facebook
Well, and
Messenger.
their wives
call 'em
and
out.
girlfriends were trying to break into the house to find them. So
Willis knows exactly what happened. Bottom line, whether he killed them or not with his own hands, or if they just did bad drugs, we have to find out. But Willis,
it doesn't seem like
Willis knows what happened.
it wasn't like a violent
I think,
death.
allegedly.
If it was a death, it wasn't that period. It wasn't a violent death. It was obviously a death.
They would have said if
Wasn't a
there were
violent death.
gunshot wounds or stab wounds or head.
They would have
traumas.
said if there was strangulation or
Why the
bruises
fuck?
or-
Why the fuck have there been 7 narratives coming out of this?
Exactly.
The attorney's the spokesperson. We should have heard shit. He could have
It's
quashed
insane.
this shit.
Well, now the
He could've
fifth guy's
quashed this shit.
interesting because what does he know?
He knows a lot. And guys, this story is brought to you by Squarespace. Yeah, man. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything, right? From products to content to time, all in one place, all on your own terms. Pretty simple, guys. If you don't know, Squarespace is essentially a turnkey website maker. It's drag and drop. You can get in there. You can get it set up. You can get the hosting set up with Squarespace, right? You don't need to go to 5 different places to get the domain name and the hosting and then hire a developer to do it. You don't need to. You can do it yourself, okay?
There's going to be some true crime websites about this Chiefs thing, and the best way to do that is Squarespace.
There's no doubt about that. And it'll be built with their Fluid Engine, guys. Fluid Engine, next generation website design system from Squarespace. When I started making websites at 12, I would have to reference a printed book to know what HTML code I was putting in, and I'd still mess it up. Today, anyone can do it. You can drag and drop. You don't need to know JavaScript. You don't need to know CSS. You don't need to know any of that. You just need to know, I want that there, done. Stretch your imagination. You can do custom merch. They have an asset library that's easily accessible if you want to build databases. So essentially anything you want to do with your website, any idea
Video
you have.
hosting content. Come on.
Dude, the game has changed. This was not possible years ago. It is possible today. It's super easy. Even a noob and a novice can do it. And look, let's be honest. That's most of us. You can hook up the email campaign. They got everything that you need, guys. So why don't you get after it? Okay? Why don't you get after it? No big deal. Create your own Squarespace website. Not a problem. And all you got to do that is go to squarespace.com/hardfactor and save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using code hardfactor. It's pretty simple. So go to squarespace.com/hardfactor to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using the code hardfactor. That's one word, guys. It's pretty simple.
Hell yeah.
Get after it.
One last thing about Willis before we move on. He moved out of the house and the town, got out of Dodge, quit his job and social media. So he's just, until they arrest him, he's just on the run almost. Like he left.
Oh, he might show up dead then.
He's just out of there.
Well, if he supplied whatever they died of without, signs, whether it was poison or
There's at
bad
least 3
drugs.
families that are mad at him.
It was a low of 37.
Yeah, they didn't freeze to death.
No, definitely not.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was low 30s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Okay, let's move on, guys. We all know that the U.S. has more incarcerated people than any other country in the world, right? Over 2 million people are behind bars in the United States. The next closest country is China with 1.69 million.
It's about to be at least one more. Jordan Willis.
Yeah. Yeah, if he doesn't off himself in a Motel 6. And
Studio 6 was.
Studio 6. And per capita, depending on which stats you look at, we are also per capita the highest incarcerations with now some people said some stats say El Salvador is now the new leader.
Right, because they've been locking everybody up. Yeah.
Right. But United States
They got private
top
prisons
5.
down there too?
Well, no, the new president was like he ran on a Law and Order, and he's just locking up all the MS-13 and everything. Like it's just
So a lot of people in prison here in the United States. And we're always looking for new ways to put people behind bars. We got privatized prisons, harsh drug laws that target certain groups, all that good stuff. And
Porn
we are
felonies.
always. What's that?
porn felonies coming
Exactly.
down the pipeline.
Omens, yeah, they have to worry about that. now,
Exactly.
unfortunately.
And we're always looking for new ways to improve our penal system and make it more effective, like how we kill our death row inmates. And at the forefront of ingenuity and how we dispatch of our most heinous criminals is the state of Alabama, which today, January 25th, will kill this piece of shit, Kenneth Eugene Smith, in the world's first execution using nitrogen hypoxia. Okay. Now,
he's the first guy. Oh.
He's the first guy. Yeah.
What did he do?
Tell us what he did. Tell us what he
Okay.
did, so we can at least be happy about it.
All right.
Look
I'm
at
gonna
look
play
at
a
his
little-
face. You know what he did.
What did
I'm
he
gonna
do?
play a little video for you guys that'll help
What did he do to those
explain.
kids?
It'll explain
You
it.
know what
Here,
he did to the kids.
Is set to execute a convicted killer with a new method, nitrogen hypoxia. But with the clock ticking, activists are hoping it will be halted.
The execution in Alabama, if it happens, will set a new standard of the lowering level of humanity for the whole world, not just for Alabama. It is a killing frenzy, killing fury.
A Catholic charity connected to the Vatican is one group appealing to the state not to kill Kenneth Smith. He was sentenced to death by a judge for
Yeah,
killing a
definitely did something to
pastor's
kids.
wife
Oh,
after allegedly being hired by the pastor to commit the crime.
What?
That was back in 1988, and since then there have been many appeals and stays. There was also an attempt to execute him by lethal injection in 2022, but the team was unable to fit an IV line into Smith's veins. With nitrogen
He's too big of a
hypoxia, the
fat piece of
condemned
shit.
will be administered nitrogen through a fitted mask until he dies. Opponents say not only is the death penalty morally wrong, this method has not been tested enough to be sure it is not torturous.
I think it is a litmus test for the level of civilization in our world today. If prevails a culture of death or a culture of life. It is not just about the life or death of Kenneth Smith.
How the hell did the Italian pastor get married?
Sorry, I know that was a shitty video. Didn't
Yeah, you can't get married if you're a Catholic priest.
He kept saying the Vatican and the pastor's wife. He was hired. The pastor hired him to kill his wife. What? Maybe
Pastor, not priest though. Priest would be Catholic, right? So-
Yeah.
Sometimes
Anyway.
they call it past. Yeah. Anyway, it's a real Kansas City Chiefs fan
Anyway,
situation.
this guy. Here's the woman he killed. He is the Elizabeth Sennett, and she was the wife of this piece of shit, Charles Sennett, who was in severe debt and wanted to keep it secret from her, but also collect life insurance by having her killed for $1,000. He eventually killed himself after it was found out what happened. Anyway, the reason this is so controversial, so nitrogen hypoxia is used in Europe in assisted suicide, but over there they use those chambers, right? We've seen them. They're like you sit in the chamber, and the people that are assisting you in the suicide, they pump this nitrogen into the chamber.
Yeah,
so none of it
like
can,
you're going to space.
yeah, so none of it can leak out. But what happens if what the people are saying is what's supposed to happen, you strap the thing on this guy's face, the mask, you strap him to a gurney. But if the nitrogen leaks in the very slightest, instead of passing out and all of his organs shutting down within minutes and dying, what can happen is that he can become nauseous, and he'll puke, and then he'll just choke on his own vomit. That's how he'll die. So that's what the big controversy is here. Yeah.
I mean,
Or he can end up a vegetable.
To be frank, this
Well,
is
they
not,
just
nothing
don't.
new. Every method of death is damn near imperfect. The injection a lot of times fucks up. The electric chair a lot of times fucks up. Like, the only way to kill people humanely is firing squad. That's literally the only way to do it. Like,
Or hanging.
is just another thing they're gonna fuck
No,
up.
because you don't always die immediately from hanging, do you? It's like you could break your neck and still kind of.
I don't know, but this method was banned in 2000 by the American Veterinary Medical Association because they said it was too distressing on the animals to euthanize them this way, and they're about to find out
how they euthanize people, though.
this is how they're about to find out how distressing it is for humans.
Okay.
Wow. Like I said, if he was in a chamber, it would be one thing because the gas might not be able to escape. But because they have,
It's like a Laramie Tunsil gas mask situation, except a
Right.
deadly one.
yeah,
They
right.
couldn't splurge for one chamber.
No, not
Shaped
even
like
yeah.
a dog's face.
So he tried to get out of it. Like you heard the nurses. He had a stay of execution warrant last year, and the nurses couldn't find his vein, like mark it getting his blood drawn. And so they ran out of time, and he got just to live.
Yeah, we'll kill you next week.
Yeah, but now they're gonna do it with an even worse method. That was
Bet you wish you had bigger veins, huh, buddy? Here's the mask.
Yeah,
bro. Until they have a fucking 100% success rate in nailing the guy that actually did the crime that they're putting to death, which
That's
they
the
don't. You can't kill anybody.
That's my issue with the death penalty. I don't care if you kill
confess.
serial killers and horrible murderers.
Fuck up all the time.
I think they probably should be put down instead of paid for by taxpayers' money for their whole lives. But it's never going to be where we're 100% right on sentencing people.
Dude, this guy's been on death row since '88. I mean,
yeah, I'm not saying this guy's innocent. This guy definitely killed the pastor's wife.
Did you see this guy's face? He probably
like
did something to kids too.
90-something% accurate.
For $1,000, he killed the pastor's wife.
He looks like the bad guy in the first season of True Detective.
It does.
What's also crazy is that there's a reverend that's going to go into the room with him because he's like, I'm not going to let one of my children go without have a prayer from the Lord. And the reverend is also at risk if that nitrogen gas leaks out of this guy's mask. It could fuck him up too. So the state had him sign a waiver being like, hey, reverend, you want to go in there and say your little prayers? Sign this in case you die too or become a vegetable too. So yeah, pretty crazy.
And if you die, we're gonna pay your family $1,000.
Yeah, that's the real crime here, is that he only paid $1,000 for a hit. That's not going to end up well.
No. So, but it's a first, and we'll see how it goes. It's he wanted the Supreme Court to give him a stay of execution. They said nope. So it's definitely happening. Today.
Oh, let me check. Is the pastor's wife magically alive again?
Oh, did you not stab her 8 times?
Yeah.
Right.
No, we're gonna bring out the gas.
Yeah.
Still dead.
Yeah. So there you go. That's all I got.
Okay.
Brad Dad says use church donations for a hit. I believe that's a familiar story.
But only $1,000. He was gonna get life insurance money. Why didn't he promise the guy $20,000 to get someone more capable of not getting caught? I don't know.
The church
is probably gonna give him more.
He hired a brute.
Yeah, he hired a dum-dum. All right. Just plucked him right off the playground he was stalking at. I have one of my all-time favorite topics to cover on this show. An incident on an airplane.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right. I love them. And this one is about an extremely violent case of turbulence. Wait, I'm sorry, flatulence. An extremely violent case of flatulence. My mistake.
Turbulence.
Yeah, exactly. A passenger on board an American Airlines flight from Phoenix, Arizona to Austin, Texas, let one rip while the plane was finishing boarding it. And talk about some smelly farts. That's all Mexican and Tex-Mex food in that dude's systems. Phoenix to Austin might as well be called Air Biscuit, Bean Belly Air.
Yeah,
he's going from Mumbai to Delhi.
Yeah.
Is the circulating air on? When do they turn it on? Is it on pre-taxi? Okay,
definitely.
Yeah, it is. They just hand out nose plugs with a cup of beans on that flight.
A lot of jalapeno and bean farts going on.
Yeah. Apparently that was the dude's issue too, was the food. Other passengers on the flight said that while people were boarding, they could tell he started to get very disgruntled and agitated. Really, they couldn't tell for what reason. He started blurting out things like, "You thought that was rude? How about you smell this?" And then started loudly farting. And no one knew who he was talking to, but they could hear and smell his farts.
Man, that's awesome power to have when you just can let it rip,
Phoenix to Austin.
Yeah.
Farting on a plane is, it's the only place that you can do it freely, and literally there's zero consequences.
Yeah,
if you're silent about it.
No, people know.
Once the plane's going, you can be full volume and it'll still be silent. They can't hear it. No one can hear a fart.
Right,
when the plane's...
people can smell which seat it emanated from.
When
they think they can.
When you announce, "Why don't you smell this?" Then it's usually you, though, right?
They think they can, Will, but they can't actually. They can get a pretty general region.
You gotta tell which, like in my opinion, like if you smell like one that just keeps coming
on a full flight, you have a 2-person cover.
Can pin it down, yeah.
I feel like usually someone that looks like us gets blamed for farts within 6 rows.
1,000.
I use it to my advantage. If I smell a fart and there's an attractive woman in that fart zone, I look at her and I say, "Did you do that?" It's a neg.
neg
Called
a
a
little
neg
bit.
boy.
Yeah. Then you build a yes ladder.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you hate this smell?
Yeah.
Yes. That's just yours. You farted right into your hands.
Fudge says, Pat, I take it you've ripped ass on the plane.
Hell yeah. It's the only form of protest you have.
best
Sit in the
form-
middle.
Loudly
No, I
farts is the
feel like
best
there's a
form
lot of people who
nonviolent
go onto
protest.
planes thinking that nobody can identify that they're farting the entire time, and then
They can't, Will.
I think
think
some
Will's
people
right.
probably recognize that you're just ripping farts the entire.
I hate it
Will's
when
right.
someone does it, man. It kind of pisses me off.
Of course.
Busy off. You
does,
keep
it's
your butt
gross.
cheeks tight on there, Wes. You never rip one.
I know if I'm gonna have a wretched fart that's gonna be a problem, and I try my best to keep it in, or I'll go to the
It's
bathroom.
annoying when somebody's just letting them fly, because
Yeah.
like there's some flights you get on and somebody's just fucking farting every 5 minutes, and it
So
smells
gross.
the same every time. You know it's the same person.
Yeah.
And then you're looking.
bean burritos. Yeah, it's not contagious. It's the
I
same
agree with
way.
that, Will. You get 1-2 tops, and then other than that, you better close it up for business.
Oh, and then someone goes up to the bathroom, and then all the farting stops. He continued by saying, "This guy, it's by the way, Phoenix to Austin's Taco Town, Queso Cities. What's this guy complaining about the food for? He's living in either Phoenix or Austin and traveling back and forth. It's like going from Belfast to Dublin and saying, everybody, let's just drink our faces off, because." He went ahead and said, I messed up. He went ahead and said, yeah, everybody, let's just eat the smelliest food possible all the time. That was the second thing he yelled out after he farted. So he was mad. He's mad about the cuisine in the Phoenix airport and Phoenix Austin. He was mad about the fact that maybe he witnessed some people at the bar eating a bunch of beans. So he decided to rebel ahead of time. And
So
then I
he's
had a
blaming
racist
his
Irish
bad
joke that- out of order.
farts on the entire plane. Basically.
He's saying
got a
y'all eat-
chorizo
y'all eat
taco
smelly-
from Earl
y'all eat
Campbell's.
Smelly food. This is what you want. This is what you want, isn't it?
Right.
It's like taking a plane from Krakow to Warsaw and saying, "Let's all read pop-up books."
The
We got
only
a full
thing
blow out here,
worse.
boys. I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Get that diaper done.
You go get that blowout. Yeah. So it's pretty gross. So then one passenger, he keeps yelling these things like, well, you all eat smelly food, smell my farts. So one passenger was like, you know what? If you don't like it, why don't you fly private? And then to which he goes, oh, how rude are you? And then everyone said, I think it's you, sir, the loud farter that's rude. Guy was blowing off some
Right.
steam. Yeah.
The only thing worse than somebody who's just farting an entire plane ride is somebody who's then taunting you while farting the entire plane ride. That's
Telling you eat smelly food while farting. That's kind of
yeah.
pot kettle. Skid marks eventually got kicked off the plane as they were taxiing to the runway and abruptly stopped. And the pilot said, sorry for the inconvenience, but we're turning around, heading back to the gate to due to excess of tailwind. And that was when the flight attendants approached the man performing the one cheek squeak and said, you got to leave the plane, buddy. We're taking you out of here.
Yeah.
So they didn't even take off. They were boarding. He starts causing a scene. They eventually taxi to the thing, and they realize this guy's going to fart and yell the whole flight. They turned it around and took him back to the gate, and I assume
Good.
arrested him. Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Well, he's not arrested. He just has to get another flight, right? And promise. not to
Depending on
fart.
how he acts off the plane.
Right. Yeah.
They're going to first say, calm down. Let's book you another plane. What's the issue here is what they're going to say. How he responds to that is where it's going to go from there. The turd whistler was left with some complaining.
I have a feeling I know how he
Whistler-
responded.
Yeah, he probably farted.
Yeah. He just anybody's trying to give him shit about this. He just farts.
Yeah, no word if they let him shit before they questioned him. Let him drop the kids off the pool. Dude was just giving it to his seat, chair blasting, farting loudly in public. Like Pat mentioned earlier, I think is probably the best form of like mostly nonviolent protest you can do. If you want to protest and not be violent, a loud fart really gets the point across. So there is that. And I do have exclusive footage, or video and audio of the plane fart. Wait, here it is. Oh my!
What's that guy's name again?
Paul Blart. Paul Flart.
That's our boy Paul Flart on Instagram.
He's still doing his thing.
He can let it rip on command, Wes.
Yeah, he can. Was it Paul? It wasn't
At
him.
Paul Flart. I don't know. No, they wouldn't say the name of the guy. We might have to have him back on the pod.
Yeah, we need to. We need to. I mean, he might know. You know, it's probably a tight knit community. People who can fart on command.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the big boob community.
Suck the air in the ass and then let it go.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a kind of a skill.
Probably doesn't even stink half the time if you can do it like that.
You don't think so?
Wow.
No, not if you're just sucking in air and like if you can burp on command, you know, like those don't stink as bad as like a real burp.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I'll never know.
We'll
You
never
gonna
know.
work on it, Wes? You gonna try?
Yeah.
I can't. I've
You
tried.
like turkey-based air into
Oh,
your butt?
you have tried it. Okay.
Yeah, I can't suck air in my own ass, unfortunately.
It would be a party trick.
No matter how hard I try.
It's like whistling, like with your fingers in your mouth.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
It's a skill.
It is. It is a skill. All right. Let's move on to the last story of the day about somebody who's got some skills. But you know, people are a little bit fed up with her. Okay. They're getting sick. Maybe they're forgetting her skills and just now thinking only about the annoyance. Of course, I'm talking about Britney Spears. Okay. And the Sun, the stunning publication that is The Sun, has reported from a source at the Four Seasons in Westlake Village, Los Angeles. There's the hotel, guys, a picture of it. That hotel has banned Britney Spears from the premises for being topless at the pool and in the spa, on top of a laundry list of other complaints from the staff, allegedly. That's
Seems like something you shouldn't ban someone for.
You could charge extra room fees for that.
Yeah.
Britney's here. The Britney's here fee.
Britney topless, you're going to be sold out.
Yep.
You could market it, but apparently the clientele at the Four Seasons doesn't really feel that way. The hotel is right next to her $14 million mansion in Thousand Oaks in LA. And Britney goes there all the time for the spa, the pool, spends the night in there, loves to post pictures from inside the rooms, you know. It's her home away from home. Britney's home away from home. The Four Seasons.
She probably meets some gentleman at the pool and brings them upstairs, which would be awesome.
Oh
yeah, no, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So women don't want them
again. Yeah, I mean it's this. Yep.
Old ladies don't want their men ogling Britney at the pool is the problem here.
Yeah, Wes, the staff.
Kids, I think it's more kids than old men. They don't want kids.
Ladies, it's women. Wes is right. It's women 100%. No men are complaining about it, but the staff, at least at the spa, allegedly have had enough. And she's banned again from this Four Seasons, according to the source, for going topless in the spa, in the pool, and making some of the other guests, as Wes guessed, feel uncomfortable. Right? That's what. So I'm sure the women are saying it's for the kids. It's not because I am uncomfortable. But yeah, it's
not because my husband called me Britney while fucking me the other night.
Right. I thought there was a movement to like knock this off and let women take their tops off. I thought that was like especially in California.
Now women are going to put a stop to that movement right away.
Really? I don't know about all women.
Women on women, 100%.
Well, it's a contradiction because I think a lot of women are for the movement, and the other ones are stopping. It's like not going to ever get off the ground. It's like a guy playing. Yeah.
Also, like, you know, like you said, uptight dads that are like really worried about, you know, all that kind of stuff. Britney was temporarily banned from the same Four Seasons hotel back in 2008, but they eventually let her back in back then after she protested by parking her car in the middle of the valet and refusing to move it. So
see, that's a bigger offense in my opinion than taking your top off at the outdoor pool.
Right, kind of like you should expect this. Maybe it's almost like you should expect it if you're Britney's local Four Seasons. I don't know.
I mean, Austin pools allow you to take your top off, and Vegas pools. Like, what are we doing here in LA?
And it's her neighborhood spa. Britney's camp says it's all fake news. But she did post this on Instagram. Awkward silence. I love making people feel uncomfortable. Shocked emoji. Here's to gold. Facepalm emoji, rose emoji, rose emoji, rose emoji, shrug emoji. And then she's dancing in a gold She's dancing in gold, and you hear her high heels just clacking.
Dancing. She's doing the weird thing she does where she just sways back and forth. And
yeah, it's her eyes that's the problem. She gives me the vibe of she's like a few years away from talking and noises. Like
Hey, is she making you feel uncomfortable with that look?
Yeah, her face always makes me look uncomfortable with those eyes. Yeah,
she says she loves doing it. She says she loves making people feel uncomfortable, and that's what I think was her response to the report about her making other guests feel uncomfortable. Anyways, the taunting dance in the gold dress on Instagram suggests to me that Britney expects her massive amount of spending at her local Four Seasons hotel in her neighborhood will get her back in there in no time at all. Real or fake news? Number one, I don't think anybody fucking cares. And number two, who is surprised that Britney has an ongoing drama beef with her local spa? Is that who? I mean, of all people in America that you'd think might have a sort of an ongoing thing with their spa, Britney would be like at the top of the list, right? I would think.
Yeah, no, she can't sit for 90 minutes anywhere.
Right. So, like, yeah, she's a high profile client with a ton of money, and she's got a ton of demands. She wants to be topless everywhere.
She's like a toddler. You can't
right.
Stay there. You know, like she's gonna wander around. And
so, of course, yeah, she's got a little bit of a beef going on with her very high profile Four Seasons local spa that she goes to all the time. Anyways, I'm just happy that we get to show her pics again because this was her 5 days ago at the beach.
Shit.
Yeah, what are we doing here? Just let her go.
That's what's up with Britney.
No, Wes nailed it.
Still raising hell, you know.
Someone called their wife Britney. It's a high end. It's a high end step. I mean, it's a $400 a night hotel at least. Sometimes
500 to 1,000 LA prices.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, so it's the nicest Four Seasons in the country probably. And although Britney should, but usually, like, I will say this, and I know Mark brought it up, but the Austin Four Seasons pool,
topless.
You do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
Usually there's a barrier of Europe that you can buy.
Yeah, exactly.
This is literally her fuck shack. She takes people here to fuck them when she doesn't want to.
She's going to be topless 10 feet away at her pool outside anyways. Like, look, this is the thing. Like, if I'm a high roller, to get her back in quicker, a lot of the high rollers need to say they're not going to go there anymore. So you let Britney back in, we're going to go across
sell fucking tickets.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, they'll let her back in because she's going to just need to bang somebody in their room for $1,500, extra $500 because of the topless.
You know who else is back in? Jon Stewart, Daily Show. Boom.
Really? It's true.
One show a week. He's going to host.
Monday night.
I'm fired up.
Yeah. Nice.
He's coming back to take down Trump.
They canceled the problem with Jon Stewart.
They canceled that Apple TV show? That's what happened?
It was too truthful to be. I thought it was great, but
he's in his bag at the Daily Show. Just get him back there.
Yeah, just get him back there. That's where he wins.
We'll see how it goes on Monday nights. And that's it for Hard Factor today. Anything else, boys, before we hang up?
Cicadas are coming.
That's right. The cicadas are coming.
Especially
first time
Pat.
2 trillion years. The two batches of cicadas for the first time in 200 years. The 21 and 14 year cicadas or 21 and 7 year cicadas are coming out at the same time. And in the Midwest, you're about to get fucked.
Yeah, Pat, you're about to be crawling.
2 trillion.
Cicadas.
I'm crawling in shit. I might as well be crawling in bugs. Jim Harbaugh took the Chargers job. So we have two Harbaughs in the NFL. But how cool would it be if his brother wins the Super Bowl, and that undoubtedly will be the first time and the last time the two brothers will win the highest honors in college football and pro football.
College. Yeah, you're right. Of course. College and NFL in the same year. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be badass. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.